I am doing all the things. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm live over there. Hello and happy Thanksgiving. I am not alone. I am not alone. I'm spending some time with you here Thanksgiving Day. I'm about to introduce my guest, and I'm not alone because my beloved is in the kitchen preparing our Thanksgiving feast, which is not a full feast. It's just some really delicious goodness. And I hope that you are all preparing for your delicious goodness today. And I have some delicious goodness to share with all of you. And I'm not going to take up a lot of your time because I know you're cooking, you're basting, you're whipping, you're baking. I don't know all the things because I'm not really a cook. That's why my beloved Dr. EJ does the cooking. But I've got an amazing cook right now that we're going to cook together. I've got my wonderful friend, Dr. Pam Perry, who I'm going to invite to the stage.
Hey, hey, hey. Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
Kim.
Thanksgiving. I'm grateful for you and grateful to have you in my life.
Yes, I'm grateful and thankful for you because this is before the turkey, before the football. We're going to talk about performance and profit, right? Like how to
Performance
really get
and
this thing
profit.
done in 2025. And
Right.
so everybody kind of has this kind of like who's I kind of feeling today. I'm relaxed, but we're going to charge you up. We're going to
We're
charge
going
you
to
up
charge
like
you up a little bit. Well, let me give you the proper introduction. Dr. Pam Perry is what I'll call a media maven. She's a media strategist, a publicity strategist. She's a publisher, and we're going to talk about her wonderful Speakers magazine, and you're going to talk about why we decided to partner up today, because I love talking to speakers about speaking and about presence and about performance and story. Story is my jam. By the way, if you haven't met me, my name is Kim Coles. I'm an actress, comedian, author, speaker, host, and publisher myself.
and
And
TV icon. That's what
well,
that's
you
what
can
that's
say
what we say.
it
TV.
from your lips to God's
So
ear.
so you got to do what you always do.
You want me to say it?
Yes.
Woo woo
There you go.
woo. For the uninformed, in case you don't know, woo 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 means I love you, I see you, I acknowledge you, I'm grateful for you. So it's a perfect day for me to woo 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 everybody here. And
Yes.
I wanted to partner with Pam so we could come in and talk a little bit about this theory that I have. I'm not really great at arithmetic, but I love this equation that stage presence, which is something that I teach and live and love sharing with others, and media presence, which is Pam's jam. Really getting you to be more visible and getting your authority out in the world. And I think that speakers, authors, coaches, and by the way, if you are anything, you are a speaker because you are the face of your brand. You are the voice of your brand. To up-level your speaking and then up-level your visibility is the way to go for 2025 and beyond. Do you want to say something about that, Pam?
Basically, you're a messenger. So if you an expert and have had at least 10 years of work experience doing something, you're an expert at something. And so you have a body of work that you can share.
Yeah.
And not only will you share, like probably have that expertise that you got on the job that you got paid for, but now you can share that body of knowledge and monetize it from a
Yes.
stage. And so speaking, because I'm a publicist, obviously there's print and then there's broadcast ways to promote yourself, but then there's also speaking, which is really like the new PR vein where a lot of people are going into. That is where you're really getting seen and heard, and it's really more personable. People will buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And so the best thing that you could do is to speak from a stage and people to feel your energy. They need to feel your energy. And if you're good, that's also a bonus. But that's the other part. They got we remember we talked about that. It's like sometimes you
Yeah.
just gotta be good. Okay.
Sometimes you just got to be good. And my joy is helping people to get good and gooder
Yes.
at sharing their message. And I just want to share a little stories and just be really authentic about this, that I became a speaker after I'd been a comedian and an actress and had been in this space for a minute. And the jobs were kind of slowing down. I wasn't getting as many my wonderful TV jobs. And I thought, well, I'm a comedian and that's kind of like a speaker and I can kind of go out there and just get on stage. And I have to tell the truth that I had to learn the ways of being a speaker that are different from being a performer. And I borrowed from what I know as a performer, and I teach those, I call them my Hollywood secrets, to really help speakers become even better at sharing that message, right?
Good.
But it translated beautifully, but there were some things I needed to do in order to become really good at this, at sharing that message. And that's why I love teaching it and sharing and really helping people up level that. Because if you've got this message and mission inside of you, it has to come out. So
Mhm.
let me ask you this, what is, there's a term that I saw on some of your, I think it was on your website, and you talked about being a superstar speaker. So in
Yes.
your mind, what does it take to be a superstar speaker?
Oh my God. There's so many elements to building a brand. A while ago, so I've been doing this for a while. A while ago, it was just like enough to have a headshot, but now you have to have these fabulous photos like this.
Ooh,
Okay.
yes. By the way,
It's
that's
like
Pam's
Dr.
magazine.
Steve, it's
Speaker's
like,
magazine.
okay. And it's part of just feeling like the red carpet readiness, the
Mm,
Hollywood, the stage, the lights, the camera, that part you're just really feeling that because that's what you want to deliver. People who look at authors and look at speakers, they feel them, they're like celebrities. So
mhm.
you have to come with that celebrity icon look. You've got to come with that energy. You have got to be like the Beyonce on stage, okay? When you're gonna deliver when you're gonna deliver that speech, if they're gonna pay you 5,000, 10,000, $20,000, you gotta
Mhm.
look like you can't just come in there like in a pantsuit, okay?
This is a very design, a very demure pantsuit, a very a very cutesy pantsuit. And I want to speak for just a moment to my introverts, because I'm secretly an introverted extrovert, or an ambivert, or whatever we call it. So let's say that you don't see yourself, standing with a, the luscious background,
In the
you know,
glitter.
maybe you're not wearing glitter and lashes like me and Pam, but stepping into your authentic voice and letting that be the star shine, let that star. So to me, star doesn't necessarily mean that you're loud, as loud, or I should
Right.
say not loud as Beyonce, but as overt and out there as
Yeah.
Beyonce. Just be you. So
Be
there's
you.
that's a beautiful example,
Yeah.
just being your authentic
Mhm.
superstar self. Whatever is inside of you is, I think, what makes you that superstar. And really believing in your message and believing in. And here's the thing that I think a lot of speakers don't think about. Okay, so I'll give you a pet peeve of mine. When I tell someone I'm a speaker and they go, "Oh, you're a motivational speaker," I go, "Well, there's actually many different kinds of speakers. There's educational speakers, there's information, there's inspiration, there's motivation, and then there's the next level, which is transformation." And
Mm.
that's, as you said, the messenger taking their message and really making sure that it gets into the hearts and minds of others. And so that to me is how you stand out as a superstar, that you're creating transformation. You're offering the audience, whether it's online or whether it's in person, offering them the action steps they can take to up level their life.
That's true.
and
That's true.
and then you do your beautiful job of helping to promote them and getting them out in the world. So I love this. This is good. All
And
right.
they're remarkable. So once you deliver your speech, months later, maybe even years later, they are still remembering the key thing that you said. And I
Right.
remember years ago, I was probably in college when I heard Les Brown for the very first time.
Mm,
And I had heard I've Got to Be Hungry story a million times, but it never gets old.
right.
Never gets old.
Right.
I gotta be hungry, and it was something that just stayed with you forever. It was transformational, so it really changed me on the inside, and
Right.
speakers like that, whether it's Dennis Kimbrough or Dr. Cindy Trim, those are people where whatever they said years ago, you still remember that, and it is still continually to help you grow and transform. So yeah, yeah, that is so true. Besides, people do listen with their eyes, but you also have to have a message that
Right.
transforms.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's about really pulling it all together. And let's talk a little bit about that. Do you believe that a speaker's core values should align with their brand values, align with their brand? You want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. So this particular speaker here, she's a retired FBI uh, leadership from FBI,
Oh, wow.
and her core value obviously is integrity, right?
Mhm.
It's really people doing things right. So all of her she does leadership training, and then that is a core value of what it is about integrity. That's what she's gonna lead with. That's been her career for the last 30 years. She always wanted to be in the FBI ever since she heard the FBI TV program years ago. So it is part of what it is. Darnell, one of her main things that she talks about is authenticity and her spirituality. She's a Christian. She's unabashed about it. She talks about the Bible, spiritual, biblical principles in what she talks about. It is part of who she is. So if you're going to hire her, you're going to know you're going to get some spiritual type of things in it. So every speaker, depending on whoever it is, and Rodney is going to talk about emotional intelligence. He's going to talk
Okay.
about emotional intelligence. He's going to be in your face. He's going to tell you like exactly where, and he'll be raw with himself about what his backstory is, and that allows other people to be raw. So yeah, people have to really their values. It can't be like, oh, I'm going to speak about this so I can get a check.
Right.
They gonna see through that. Okay, so
Right.
you've got to be true to whatever your core values are and lead with that. For me, it's about promoting, amplifying, and marketing. No matter what I'm going to be doing, I'm always going to be talking about those three things: promoting, amplifying, and marketing a message. Now, am I going to teach you how to deliver the message? No, but I will help you promote and amplify and market the message.
Gotcha.
So that's a whole different thing. So be true to your core values. You're going to find an audience. You don't have to be everything to everybody.
Right. I love this because this is why this partnership is so wonderful. Because it's like you, when I called you, and said, "Oh, let's do this thing together." There's an old commercial where I guess supposedly Reese's was was
The
discovered. So
chocolate.
somebody's walking down the street eating a piece of chocolate, and somebody's walking down the street eating a jar of peanut butter, which would never happen in the real world. And they bump into each other. Who put chocolate in my peanut butter? Who put peanut butter in my chocolate? And then you come up with a partnership. And so there are some
My
key
favorite
things.
candy.
It's really delicious. So one of the things I heard you say that was really powerful is knowing what your core values are and showing up as that every time. So there's
Mhm.
two things that I think that does, Pam, that's really powerful is that people you become known as that. You become known as that messenger, and you can have two or three or four of those messages, but you show up as that all the time. People get to know and like and trust you for that. Here's the other thing too, and you got to make the event planner's job a little easy.
Please.
Right. So when people know what they're going to get, and I think that it's important to know that an event planner wants their audience to have a particular wants their audience to go home with something very particular. And I love asking event planners at the end of the day, at the end of the event, what do you want your people to take home? And what do you want them to leave with and come back next year with and get high and hire me again next year? And so to show up as that every single time, then people know what they're going to get. They know that you are dependable. They know that their people are going to be happy. And that's also one of the ways I think you become a superstar speaker because we know what you're going to deliver. Doesn't mean that you can't shake it up and add some things and add some performance hacks that I love teaching. But really, when someone sees you and sees your message and sees what your talk titles are, that they know what they're going to get, and you can command the higher fees in that way too.
Mhm. That is really good. People
Yes.
also like to hire you talking about event planners and things like that. They like to hire people that have some cachet,
Mm,
people who've been visible. You may be the best speaker and you have all of the information in your head and you can just spit it out, but they want to know that other people know that too. So you can't be hiding under a rock.
yeah.
You have to be visible. You have to make the job easy for the event planner to sell tickets or to get people to want to come because you have a little bit of cachet, you have a little bit of a brand.
Right.
And that's where really PR does help with your speaking fees to go up because
Absolutely.
obviously it, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, they get paid very, very handsomely because they have brand names or even any kind of you, obviously, because they know the name and they say, oh, we're going to have Kim Cole. But how do you get yourself to get to the point where I'm going to know your name, right? I'm going to know your name and then we want them. So you want your name circling in that industry so that people say you're the go-to person. You're the
Right.
go-to expert in that niche.
Right.
That's really key.
What I'm also hearing you say too is we're talking about putting together a package of tools. So I think the first tool for me and the first tool in my kit is to get good at what what I do on stage, to know how to craft my signature stories. And I will say also to a pet peeve of mine is someone who doesn't share new stories with us. Share your signature stories. And I love helping people to pull stories out that you hadn't even thought about and then tying it into your message and tying it into your products and
Mhm.
services. And that's a conversation for us to have too. So you package yourself in a way, you get aligned with your core values, you get aligned with your beliefs and your core signature story that you want to share with the world. And then you package it in a way that people know what they're going to get when they get you. They know that you're going to be professional. They know that you're going to be funny. They know that you're going to be goofy on say whatever your thing is, just be that thing. And then you get to deliver it over and over again. And I love that you have this speakers magazine. By the way, no, no. Oh, I was like, is she going to pull out mine? I was getting kind of jealous, Pam.
You know I did. You know I did. I was like, okay, this is this. You were over in Egypt.
That picture was taken. I was in Egypt. It was a transformational trip for me. And I will
Love
tell
it.
you that, by the way, one of the ways I pull out people's signature stories, I'll just give you a little hint, is you take your experiences, your life experiences, your ups and your downs and all the things. And when I went to trip Egypt, it was a pivotal time in my life. And I came back transformed myself. And that's a beautiful picture. You know, I had a brand photo taken
Yeah.
in Egypt. If you're going to
Oh,
go
I
somewhere, you better
love
flip your hair, put on some eyeliner and work it. And that was the picture that I wanted on the cover of your magazine,
this was good.
Speakers
And
Magazine.
this was during the pandemic. This was
Still in
2020.
the
We were doing virtual events.
right, right, right. We
Whew.
were, and
Yes.
and
And
here
you
we
had
are.
to you had to teach people how to really pivot from the stage to
Yeah.
be in this little bitty box.
I heard I coined a phrase at that time, and I'm sure other people have used it. It's to pivot on purpose. And and that's also key as business owners, as entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, coaches, visionary leaders, as I like to call us. You do have to pivot on purpose. You know, we've had to pivot from, you know, physical magazines, which I know that you still print those as a publisher,
Mhm.
but to this digital format because everybody's online and we're loving this online. And I had a client recently reach out to me. I shared an offer with her to do this event, and she was like, "Let me know when you're doing it in LA. I want to be in person." I was like, "I live in LA, and I will do this in person, but I want to reach a global audience."
Yeah.
And unless I get on a plane every single weekend, I can't get to all those places. But just like here today with all of you, we get to be live with you right now. And I love that you pivoted to take your magazine online. So we're going to
Mhm.
talk in a minute about your about our partnership and what we're going to do here. That you help speakers up level their presence online through the lens of this beautiful magazine. And thank you
Mhm.
for letting me be on the cover too. I enjoyed myself.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So this is what you do. You take people's the bio. And by the way, I love helping people with their bio. There's nothing
Woo.
more annoying than like a boring bio that doesn't have anybody lean in. You want the world to lean in and go, how do you do that? And can I get some of that? And where do I sign up to get some of that? And
Mhm.
so you
Mhm.
take the bio, you take their story, you take their signature story and help them craft it in a way that they get to be on the cover of a magazine, which then doesn't that help someone's credibility?
Yeah, it
It's not
positions them.
it's
People see
positioning.
themselves. Well, first of all, it does two things. It allows other people to see you as
Mhm.
a speaker. So you are tagging maybe event planners, and they're like, "Oh, what is this? Oh, they're on the cover of Speakers Magazine."
Listen.
You also it allows you to see yourself differently, and that's what I really find so much with a
Oh,
lot of the speakers. They see themselves differently. Lieutenant Colonel, retired from the Army, JJ Conway, on the cover of Speakers Magazine, has a amazing story to tell. But people were like, "Oh, but you're a lieutenant colonel." They don't really see her as a speaker. Now she sees herself as a speaker, and other people see her as a speaker, even though she's lieutenant colonel, retired from the Army. So those are the things where it's a positioning that you can't get anywhere else because it's the trademark thing right across your head. It's Speakers Magazine. And it is one of those things where it's primarily for African American speakers. This is Dr. Cindy Trim here. You can see her fabulous picture here. But
yeah.
but it is a thing where you have seen maybe Les Brown on the cover, you've seen Kim Coles on the cover, Stephanie Mills has been, I love Stephanie Mills, has been on the cover, Ed Gordon, a good friend of mine, has been on the cover, and then you can say, I've also been on the cover of
Well,
Speakers
this is
Magazine.
what I'm hearing too, Pam, is that it's a confidence builder.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Especially in,
It
hold on,
is.
I'm gonna take a little sip of
It
tea.
is. It is. Cindy Trimmer's been on there a couple of times actually. And it's very
Wonderful.
strong. Mhm.
So we're talking a confidence builder. We're talking about something that's high class and well done. You know, listen, we can go on the internet and recreate. Oh, we love Judge Leonia.
Oh my God.
Shu. So
This was a
Judge
big
Leonia's.
confidence
I wish I
builder for her. This
said
was
again.
this was a big confidence builder for her. She'd been a judge, retired as a judge, and now, bam, it's like
Bam.
I speak for money. So it's
I
not like I'm
speak.
just speaking. I speak
Well,
for
you know,
money.
she's in one of my anthologies, the Wisdom Gifts anthology. And thanks to the partnership that you and I have, you introduced
Yes.
me to her, and
Is
her message is
wisdom.
out there even further. By the way, I also advocate for speakers to have books. And let's talk for just a second about products and services. And I think the biggest misconception is that speakers only make money when they get their fee from the event
Mm-mm.
planner on stage.
No,
If you
no.
are not developing your products and services to go along with your talks, and that's also something I'm going to be sharing in just a moment. One of the things I'm doing in my program that I'm about to offer is to help you to understand how you can create a product out of your talks, and
Yes.
such that when you're done talking, you can offer the audience, if you're allowed to sell from the stage, or offer a way for people to stay in contact with you, or offer a QR code to get your free downloadable blah blah blah, fill in the blank. You're missing out on a lot of money from what we call the back of the room. Why
Mhm.
are you not selling your own goods and products and services? And I'll tell you right now that I've actually had a speaking gig and made twice as much money because I sold a program at the end of it. And
There you
so
go.
please, speakers, eh, I'm assuming that your Speakers Magazine helps people to also promote their products and services. Do you
Yeah,
want to talk
it's a
about that?
business. It's a
It's
business.
a business.
So a business makes money from the stage. Obviously, you get paid for that, but also you may have an online program. You may do workshops. You will come in. Obviously, you'll have a book. You
Yeah.
will do other things because you have a body of work. You're that go-to expert. And so people may want it in different ways. You may license your program. You may license the framework that I mean, there are different ways, but you have to be creative. You have to first have the speech and be in front of the people. Then they say, "Oh, I want more." And you
Yeah.
have to offer them more. Don't just say, "Oh, here's a book," but there's other things. Maybe take the book and make it an online course, make it a training where you come in uh, monthly, a year later, and do workshops. Those are the kind of things. It could be where you're doing research for them, or you're creating a white paper for them. I mean, there's if you're an expert in an area, not just let
It's
it leave with just the stage and the microphone. You've got
right.
other things that you can actually do. Books are part of it,
Mhm.
workbooks are part of it, but knowing how to put that together from your body of work from is really, really key. And you need some to coach you how to do that because not everybody knows how to. We didn't wake up knowing how to do that.
Right.
So that is really, really key. That's what you're good at, Kim.
Yeah.
That's what you're good at. I remember you talked about that. It's like a lot of your Hollywood friends were like, "How are you doing this? How are you doing that?" And it was like, "This is what I learned." You made that pivot.
I
And
made
so
that.
now you're showing them how to really put together those other elements that can sell while they sleep.
Absolutely. And I'll give a little humble brag, if I may. I've watched this happen. Not only have I had my products and services to sell, which I'm about to share and offer with you all now, I've actually had people ask me to create something. When you show up authentically as yourself, when you show up and do your talk and you've really honed your talk and honed your stage presence and honed, really dialed in what you want to say, the way you want to say it, and the way you want that audience to feel, and you know how to deliver that, you will. There's another little magic secret sauce that can happen. I've actually had an event planner say, I love when you talked about so and so. I'm going to hire you again next year, and I want you to do a workshop. So here I was on stage. I got hired to do this one talk. And she's like, no, I think this is so valuable. You hit on a tidbit that I know this audience needs to hear. Come back next year and we're going to give you a whole, 2-hour workshop. And I was like, look at what I just did there. And you can do that too. So you show up in your signature stories, you show up with your message and your mission, and let it further your brand and your business and all the things, right? I want to share with everybody, if I may, the this offer that I let's see, how can I share? I got to share. I got to do all the technological things. I created something really wonderful. Share the screen. Hold, please. I shared something. Where are you? Hang on just a second.
100%.
Where is it? Well, here's what I'll do. I'll scroll the message on the bottom there. You can go to kimcoles.com and look at what I'm fitting to show you. Let me pull up the page. Let me
yeah, it's just a www.kimcoles.com.
Just go to kimcoles.com. And I'm trying to share that page because Pam and I have pivoted on purpose and created something I like to call the Performance Profit Promote Bundle. So the offer that I wanted to share with you all this beautiful Thursday, this beautiful Thanksgiving Day, is the Performance Profit Formula, right? But for some reason, I can't window. It's so weird. It's not letting me pull it up.
Either window, Chrome, or full screen.
There it is. Here it comes. Okay.
There you go.
You see it?
Yes, I see it. I love it.
So
this is for speakers, coaches, authors, and visionary leaders, or what I want to call subject matter experts. Those that have
subject matter experts. By the way, here's what I want to say to everyone before I even talk about this offer is that you are a subject matter expert. You have experiences, life, story, you have your wisdom that you've already learned, and you can teach that to others. In fact, one of my favorite t-shirts is teach everything you know. That we're in a space and a place, I think, especially in this country right now, where we need to more than ever teach what we know. We need more than ever to share our wisdom with others, to help and serve and move this thing called life along, right? And so you are an expert. And it's important to share your wisdom with others. And so I created this program I call the Performance Profit Formula. And you're going to go to the page and you're going to check everything out. Just go to kimcoles.com. I made it super, super easy. And what we're doing is, talking about how the speaking industry is a crowded space. It really is a lot of folks out there. But here's what nobody's telling you, that it's not your message that's holding you back. It's really getting dialed in on your dynamic delivery, your storytelling mastery. And when I say storytelling, I mean not telling the same old stories that have been told from the stage from everybody else. I'm talking about telling your own stories, or at least blending them in so that you have a fresh take, so the audience sees and learns a fresh take from you. And then the other thing is that it's not that your experience is the problem. You can have any experience. It's like really putting the quality, sharing quality stories, quality performance style. And I'm saying whether you are bold and beautiful, and you are, or whether you're a little bit shy or introverted, and that's okay too. There's still a way to share your story through the power of authenticity.
Yeah.
Right. And people will lean in, and what we're looking for more than ever is resonance with the audience. I think it's really important to resonate with the audience. Today, I usually stop and look at comments, and today I really wanted to get you all in and out in 30 minutes or a little bit over, but to be able to resonate with the audience and engage with them in a special way. And I love teaching that piece of it too. And there's, again, so much more on this page. There's the mindset of the speaker. You talked about it just a second ago, Pam. I love that piece, that when people see themselves on the cover of this magazine, that they then, it's a mindset shift. Like, wow, I really am a professional speaker. And then you will act accordingly, right?
And charge accordingly.
Ding, 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 ding. Say that again.
For people to understand, to go from free to charging a fee, is that it's in their mind.
Yeah.
People would pay you if you would ask. But I think part of it is just not really knowing how to see themselves differently. I
Right.
mean, it's like you have to see yourself differently. It's one thing to say, okay, you go on the stage and people clap and applaud, but
Yeah.
when you actually have this as a like I am a speaker, it's one of those
Yeah.
tangible things that I'm seeing that other people are seeing it. I'm sharing it. They're seeing it. It matters so much because you could spend so many years, Kim, I've seen people spend so many years
Oh, yeah.
speaking and speaking for free. And I'm
No.
like,
Oh,
what
no.
are you
No.
doing?
No.
And
Why?
they're just so happy to share. And I'm like, but they're getting value out of it. Why aren't you charging your work? So anyway,
Right.
that's my pet peeve. I'm going off on
Well,
that.
it's also
The
that
profit
mindset of
the profit formula is why we're partnering on
it's
this
what
because I want people to make money on this. This is their
absolutely.
gift.
You
Yeah.
should be paid. And listen, there's a universal truth about the exchange. You should be compensated for the gift that you're giving in the world. Now, you could continue giving your gift, and you can, of course, you're going to go on social media and you're going to share your gifts. You can give away a lot, and you should also be compensated for this thing that you're putting out in the world, which
Yes.
is your message and your mission. I said this thing, I didn't mean to diminish it. I mean this thing that you're bringing forth and putting out into the world. You should absolutely be compensated for it. And I'll tell you the truth, when I first started, I thought, well, because I'm well known as an actress, like I know what my fees are. I know what my numbers are, what I should be getting if you're hiring me to do a show. But in the speaker world, I started out low. I was like, oh, well, I'm not really a speaker. I'm really a comedian actress. So then I was like, no, 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 no. Because I'm taking my gifts and talents in one area and popping them over here in another area, I absolutely should be compensated. And I'm not saying because I'm Kim Coles, I should be paid. I should be compensated because of the gift that I bring to the world, and so should you. So
Mhm,
there,
mhm.
I'll
That's
get
it.
off my soapbox. So when you say yes to the performance profit formula, and you can go to kimcoles.com and see it. You get a stage presence mastery plan, a fee attracting bio. And I hope you heard what I just said. It's not just a bio, it's a fee attracting bio. A premium package structure, which is what we were talking about. If you're thinking, well, I don't know how to take my expertise and turn it into even more money at the back of the room or on my website, I know how to take your talk, take your ideas, and structure them in a way that it can become a course or a workshop or workbook and all of the things, t-shirts, all the things, right? And
Mhm.
I'm a fan of the signature talk framework. Is how do I tell the story in a way that moves hearts, opens people's minds, and causes transformation in their life. Now, there's a lot more on the page and all the things that you get, and you can read through that. And I have it for you for $9.97. However, because I wanted to partner with Pam, and there I am, and there we are, because Pam is a wonderful publisher, and because you hold people's hand through the piece that's getting them out and more visible, more credible, and like you were just saying, even more confidence. So
Mhm,
you can have a digital cover feature in Speakers Magazine.
mhm,
So that
mhm.
you too, so maybe, next year when Pam and I do this again, she'll be holding up your cover. And what I love about what you do, and I'll let you share this, Pam, is it's not just the cover, it's everything that you do with this. You
Yeah.
make people, is the word Googleable or Googleicious?
Googlicious. Googlicious. They gotta become Googlicious. So when you are a speaker and you want people to know that you are a speaker, if they Google you and they see that you're on the cover of Speakers Magazine, that's gonna be worth something right there. And then not only do they see that, but they see your reel or they hear you speaking. So they Google your name. Obviously, they'll get to your website. The website is what you say about yourself. But when they go to the actual website of Speakers Magazine, they'll see like the cover of the magazine, and then they'll read your story. The story talks about what is your superpower, how do you speak, what do you want people to feel. You're talking to really this interview is talking to an event planner about what you bring to the table, what is your value. And that's what that is. It's not, oh, like it is your bio, but it's really speaking to the event planner because you're in Speakers Magazine. So it functions like a speakers bureau for you, but it's selling
Mm,
for you. So you have to have the great cover with the great photo. So we are going to reserve it that, if your photo isn't great, then we'll say you got to wait till you come back and get a great photo. That's really key. And then you have the story, and then you also have another picture, another great picture, and then also to the speaker reel. Hopefully you have a speaker reel, a sizzle reel about what it is, or a news clip from you being on a television station, something so that people can sample you like they would at Costco or Sam's Club, something like that. And then you have the share buttons across the top. You can share this every single week. You can share it to your network. They can share it to their network. They share it. They tell a friend. They tell a friend. But the buttons are across the top where you can share it on Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Facebook, and share them so that it pops up with your picture on the cover of Speakers Magazine. It's a positioning tool, it's a PR tool, and then you could take the link and put it at the bottom of your email signature. I mean, I've got like 50 ways where you can actually leverage this thing, but the whole point is leveraging. And what you said about how you can help people monetize their speeches so that they can have other products, that
Yes.
is so key. That's something that I don't teach, but listen, I assume that they knew that, but they but they don't. So they have to be guided for that. They have to be guided for that. Even if it's something as simple as a t-shirt. After a speaker, this is the thing I said, like superstar speaker or rock star speaker. After you speak on stage, people want a piece of you. So they will even at least go buy one of your t-shirts with your logo
Listen,
on it.
listen. I learned that as a comedian. There was the first comedian I ever witnessed doing that, and you all may have heard of him. His catchphrase is "shucky ducky." I can't think of his name right now. And I remember I performed with him, and this is earlier in my career. And after we were done, he was out in the lobby selling his "shucky ducky" T-shirt.
Right?
Right? And I was like, oh, wait a minute. So not only did he get paid at the comedy club, he then
Mhm.
had a line of people who were in love with him saying, I want that t-shirt. If you think that in the years to come, I didn't sell some woo, woo, woo t-shirts, absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know, that's it. Tabitha Brown said that she did that. It said, "That's my business," or whatever.
That's my,
It was on a
yes.
t-shirt.
You have to be, listen, we're entrepreneurs. You have to have an entrepreneurial mindset, whatever it
Yeah.
is. If you're, I call us visionary leaders, right?
Yeah.
We're speakers, authors, coaches, and the like.
Mhm.
And you got to think entrepreneurial that people, so let's say someone doesn't buy your 997 program or your 1997 program at the back of the room, but they may just want to take home a little piece of you to remind them to stay positive, or it's my business, or woo woo woo, or
Yeah.
shucky ducky, or whatever it is. And why not provide that for them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so
And we can
this
show
is
you how
what,
to set the store up too if you want to just sell it online as well. So that's
right.
the other part.
Well, this is some of the things I'm going to be talking about in this program, which is why I was really, passionate about wanting to have this. Thank you for sitting in your picture, Pam. You look so beautiful there. And why I wanted to partner with you, because I talk overarching about publicity. Listen, I've been on red carpets, I've been on every talk show, I've been on Good Morning America, and, in my career and in my time promoting, and I know how to do that and be a publicity, I should say, like I call it a publicity darling,
A
how
media
to,
darling.
a
Mhm.
media darling. I
Darling.
do know how
Mhm.
to do that, and I can teach that, but I don't have the vehicle like a magazine, or like the actual way that you can do the promotion. So that's why you're my chocolate to my peanut butter, or my peanut butter to my chocolate. And so
I
that's
love it.
why we have a way for us to work with both of us. And I'm gonna, I really should go back on this page and point some arrows. You know how you go on someone's sales page and they have a bunch of arrows telling you which one to choose. You can certainly come and work with me and get your talk dialed in, get your message dialed in, get that product decided, and like, what should I offer for 2025 and beyond.
Mhm.
And I'm advocating for the or, come work with both of us.
Yep.
Come and take the performance profit promote bundle, because that's the piece that's missing for a lot of people. They don't know how to promote.
Mhm.
You just sort of, I always say, buy my hair bundles on Instagram, buy my hair bundles. Well, why should I buy your hair bundles instead of the ones over there? Tell me why. Tell me what's amazing about your product and service. Tell me what you offer. And I love that you pull that out for people, and then they've got this beautiful product. So that's why I'm advocating that, for our Black Friday special, we combined forces,
Yeah.
and I have a two pay for you, a split pay there for you. And so you'll work with with me and work with Pam. And so that means that for 2025, you'll be ready to go. You'll be up.
Everywhere.
You'll be
Mhm. You'll be
you'll be
everywhere.
everywhere.
Trust me,
That's
you're
what
gonna
I'm like.
be everywhere. You will be everywhere. So when you decide to invest in your PR and you step into that,
Mhm.
then just know that we are going to get you out there. It's going to be like, wow, she's pressing those buttons and she is pushing me. And you never know.
Right.
My audience of event planners and media people will see that and
Mhm.
then contact you. You just got to be ready. You got to just make the first step and
Right.
then everything else will fall in place. But I'm telling you, if you make the investment,
Mhm.
we will then put you out
Yeah.
there. You're going to be ready mentally. You'll have your products, you'll have all of that, but then you'll be promoted everywhere. People will be seeing you everywhere. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I see her everywhere. It's like, yep. And
Yep.
that's it. What does she do? She's a speaker. Okay. She's a speaker. She's on Speakers Magazine. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess that's the person I need a speaker for my event in March or a Women's Day speaker. So yeah, let me go with them because
Right.
they could see that you invested in one, the to get prepared, and then
Yes.
two, to be promoted. That's it. Just be prepared and then you can get to be promoted. Now we can't promote you if you ain't prepared. That's
Well, my job is to get
that's
them prepared, to get them even more prepared, and to even, I do this in a very loving way. I see people perform, and listen, I have, when, especially when we perform as a comic, a lot of comics will sit in the back of the room and watch your act. And at the end of the show, they come, that bit that you did about that, Kim, why don't you try swapping out this word for this way? Like, thanks for the loving feedback. And you get to play and do this. Well,
oh
that's what I
good.
love to do. I love to watch people perform and go, what if we take this and turn it on its side a little bit and see how that turns out? I
That's
love
your
giving
gift.
what I call that loving feedback to go, this
Mhm.
is what will make you even more effective on stage, even more
Mm,
effective when you're talking on a live stream. And that adds to the professionalism, that adds in your ability to get your message heard and seen and felt even more. And I think there is a lot of noise out there, and this is how you stand out, by working on your craft. There's no one that's out there that doesn't work on their craft. Look, I'm going to go see Wicked. I'm going to go, if I got my Wicked t-shirt, I'm going to put on my green eyeshadow because I'm team Elphaba all day long. But each one of those women, like Huffington, Ariana
Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande talks about how she prepared for this. Now, she was a pop star already, but how she prepared. Cynthia Erivo talks about how she prepared for this moment so that she could be the one chosen to, fly through the air and defy gravity. And so the question for all of us is, how are we going to defy gravity for 2025
Mm,
and beyond? And this is, I think, the promote performance profit promote bundle. You and I have thought of everything. We're going to get you really dialed in, get your performance, get your stories, get your product dialed in, and then Pam is going to get you everywhere and get you
yeah.
to be Googleicious so that people put in your name and you pop up on day one, on page one on day one,
There
right?
you go. There
There
you
you
go.
go.
That is it. That is so key. And
Thank you.
really building your platform will help you make a profit. Okay. If
Yes.
you're trying to figure out like, well, why aren't I making money? You need to really dial it up
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
order for you to make the money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
being promoted properly, having the platform, having people, reach out to you for podcasts, getting the publicity, those are the things that you're going to add to your strategy for 2025 so that you can have your performance profit. That's really the whole thing. It's like you're doing all the performing, but you're not making the profit. There's some things you have to tweak. And I would say insanity is what? Doing the same thing, trying to
Oh,
expect a different result, right? So if you cannot be in the same spot next year trying to figure out like, well, why am I still in the same spot?
yeah.
Well, you didn't do anything different, boo. So you can do something different. And
Do
this is
something
this is a
different.
thing. And I want to say this to Kim. The price of admission is just to sit with you and to glean from your gift. It really is a gift that you're giving people to sit with them, listen to their stories, give them feedback. You are a veteran in the whole industry. You know what works. You're doing it in 11. It's the price of admission. I mean, you could do a hour phone call and just charge $2,500. You know what I'm saying?
I have.
And then that's it, and goodbye, and you hang up the phone. It's like, okay, you're good. But you actually put in more into this and
Yeah.
more structure and showing them how to really monetize their message, how to monetize their message in other ways, whether it is an online course, a workbook, they
Mhm.
could even be a part of your book. They could be interviewed with you.
Mhm.
Just having that association, which we didn't really talk about. Partnerships are really, really big. They're
Oh,
really
yeah.
big in 2025. So having that association with you is key. I would say sometimes people are just one connection away of where they
Oh,
need to be.
listen.
And
Let me say
Kim
this.
could be that connection. So get moving. Tari knows that. Tari Donaldson. She
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
loves you. I can't find her cover right now, but she just loves you. Oh, here she is, Tari. She is with you on in your book and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And so it is the connections that you need. Not only will she teach you, but the connections that Kim has that she shares very freely. That she
Well,
shares freely.
let me just say this, and then I'll let everybody get back to the cooking and to all the things. One of the things I love to do is to use my platform to help others. So,
Mhm.
like I said,
Oh,
I don't have the actual vehicle. I don't have a magazine to put you on the cover of, but I do have a publishing company and I can help publish a book. And I've been publishing these anthologies. And so I use my platform as
and
Kim
they're
Coles to invite
beautiful.
people to come and play with me and get their story dialed in and put it out in the world. And my clients, people I've worked with, I do get to partner with them in new ways. So I didn't brag about one of my clients, Ernetta Caldwell, who's in one of my anthologies, our anthology. And she recently did a pitch contest. And I love this. As speakers, you can go and do a pitch contest.
Yes.
And there was a prize, and she won $1,500 just by getting up and pitching something that she's already working on, something that she's already passionate about. And so it was so fun for her to show up and do something she was happy to do and happy to share. And she won $1,500 in 15 minutes just because, right?
Mm.
And so I love that, of course, when I'm doing my summits, you think I'm not going to have her partner with her as one of my speakers. And so I love pulling from the pool of folks I already know. And now I know, like, and trust them because I've worked with them. And so I get to then use my platform to uplift them even more. And so that's why partnership really is important. And I love partnering with people that come into my realm in that way. And so yes, it could be a phone call and I get you off the phone call and bye bye. But I like to work with people one on one in this way. And so let me just say this for the Performance Profit Formula. It's a group VIP day. It's going to be a small group, and then I like to give people the bonus of the one-on-one call. So not only will we have the group experience and I take you through the whole framework, I then dial it in with a one-on-one call with you because I love working with
Wow.
people in that way.
That
But
is
prob-
that's worth the price of admission right
I
there.
probably
I'm
should
telling
charge
you.
more, but I
I
wanted to make
am
it a cool.
telling you. But you love that. That's just
I do.
something that is transformational, that
Yes.
when someone has that, and I know that Judge has gone through that, Linda has gone through that, even Renee Butler, she's gone through that. It helps their mindset as well as their confidence, what you instill in them, and they have it for a lifetime. They have it for a
Very true.
lifetime. So
Thank
that's the thing. It's okay, it is this amount today, but you have that transformation for the lifetime. Think of that. So you don't want to be in the same spot
you. No,
next year
no.
as you are this year. So you want transformation. So you got to do those things. And I'm doing it. I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing things that are stretching me, taking me to the next level in 2025. I can't stay in the same spot this year, next year. So I've got to do some things differently if I want things to be different. And so I that's why I'm just saying I see so many speakers, like you said, it's a crowded space. I see so many speakers just year after year, and I'm like, dang, they could really be a lot further along if they had done A, B, and C. But maybe this is the time.
This is the
Maybe 2025, they're seeing things so much differently through a different lens,
time. Mhm.
and maybe they'll take advantage of it. But I'm telling you, just don't stay stuck.
Don't
Don't
stay
stay
stuck.
stuck. There's too many people out here that will help you. Kim will help you on a
Pam will help
one-on-one
you.
call. What?
That's the bonus I love to give because I love that kind of work. And just for the record, my coaches are like, would you stop doing the one-on-one? Well, because it takes a lot of time and I
It
give,
does.
I show up with no lashes on and we just get to work. But I love that personal one-on-one touch. And I know that, I'm passionate about this. And because when I was starting out as a speaker, I got that kind of help. I've invested in myself. I know, Pam, you've invested in yourself. And I also don't want to end, every year I want to improve and grow and become better. And I don't think that I sit on any, mountaintop as the guru of it all. I'm constantly climbing and growing and improving myself. And it takes an investment to do so, an investment in myself. And ultimately, I'm investing in myself so that I can share myself even better with the audience. So thank you so much, Pam, for spending part of your Thanksgiving day.
Yes, this has been fun. Now go see the Lions go win. That's what we're about.
Is that what you're about? Has the game begun yet? Let me let you go and get ready for your game.
About 10 minutes, about 10 minutes.
My kitchen is smelling delicious. We're going to go see Wicked and come back and eat. Everyone have a beautiful, wonderful Thanksgiving and holiday season. I'm going to leave this video up for a little while, but I will say that this offer goes away midnight on Tuesday, after Giving Tuesday or Cyber Monday or
Giving Tuesday is the second till Cyber Monday is December or something like that.
And
whatever.
Wonderful Wednesday or whatever it is. So if you're watching this, it ends midnight on Tuesday, midnight PST. That gives you a little bit more time if you're on the East Coast. Everyone have a beautiful day. Pam, I just love you, and I thank you so much for partnering with me. You're the best.
All right. God bless.
Bye-bye, everybody. Yay.